Hello everybody and welcome to part 5 of my God King Boudicca series. In the last part we left on the cliffhanger of what second follower belief to take. As for enhancer belief, I'm definitely going to take itinerant preachers. When I'm playing Liberty, I think this is way better. We got a lot of cities close together, which means whatever, the capital can't reach, we'll get the others and so on, and it just kind of mirrors and reflects, and I like it better. Could be wrong about that. I will say that the other one, 25% faster, 50 after printing press, is also quite strong, but I think this is better when you're planting a bunch of cities. Alright, as for second follower belief, we were torn between asceticism and mosques. I think I'm going to take a chance on the mosques. The hesitancy comes from having a lot of cities, and do we have enough faith to be able to buy all those buildings in all those cities? But the reason why I'm willing to take a chance on it is because we do have Pictish warriors, so that's a source of faith that other civs in the same situation would not have access to. So that's something to keep in mind. The other feature about this part is Denmark had approached us about a joint war against Germany, and since we were trying to settle this city and maybe this city after it, Germany being very close, we knew there would probably be friction. If we can get another worker, that'd be great, yada yada. So we said yes. However, Germany has kind of retreated, so we're just kind of sitting here. It is possible, I wanted to point this out, it is possible that it was wrong to go ironworking ahead of trapping, because our cities have not been able to build circuses, our workers have not been able to build camps. We do have a lot of deer tiles in our midst, and this isn't panned out yet. I mean, obviously that goes without saying because it's not researched, but I'm just saying there's not a lot of fighting. We don't have a lot of units on the front line, so it might have been the right thing to do. So anyways, in this part, hopefully we'll have the opportunity to take the war to Germany. Because we couldn't build circuses, we are building more units in the background. But will they get to the front line in time remains to be seen. Either way, it's good that we're developing our military because geographically, obviously, Denmark would be our next competitor. This is an easily defensible city. However, Denmark's army dwarfed Germany, so maybe they'll take this. And if so, and we plant a city here, they're right on top of us. He tends to be very aggressive. So having that extra military will be good. Plus we still have a lot of dark spots like here and here that I want to keep eyes on, so barbarian camps aren't spawning near our developed lands and, pillaging, stealing workers and all that fun stuff. Okay, borders of Nantes grows. We'll go ahead and work that tile for the extra gold there. City connection, that's going to be the one from Truro. We just finished that up. I was looking off camera at our worker situation, and when this guy finishes with the sheep, it'll probably be in time for him to be able to come over and do the deer here, start chopping up river farms. So this worker is going to be the Edinburgh worker. We're not going to need a Truro one after he's finished here. All this land's pretty much developed. Taking the forest off of this and developing this hill would be good at some point. But anyways, this guy can probably go do Dublin. We'll do river farm here, camp, so on. Get that all caught up. Let's see here. Truro has grown. We'll leave that there for now. Once we put the extra food on this tile, we'll switch over so that this city can keep growing. We wanted it to get to 5 pop anyways. Iffy longs for culture. So let's see how we're doing here. Looks like we're second. Yes. To the Mayans, which is no surprise. I believe they're leading in world wonders at the time. Okay. So let's see here. Worker is done with citrus, and look at that. We have citrus. We have multiple citrus. They're all being traded out, so I'm going to trade it for sugar here. Diplomatic relations, obviously. But also because you want to be shuffling luxuries around as much as possible. As we saw earlier, Dublin had said it wants citrus, and we already had citrus, but it was all traded out. So as soon as it came back, easy satisfaction, and go from there. So now with these two cities, when they're done, or when Nantes chooses, they all might have the option of saying citrus, and bam. Plus there is another citrus over here. So, alrighty, moving on. The settler is coming over to Kilimanjaro land. I was going to settle here, but with the citrus here, I think stepping here and settling would be better. This worker was coming up to develop the cocoa. One of the reasons why we're trying to hold on to it so tightly. We'll have this guy step out and do, yeah, see, his units are just kind of hanging out back there. And we don't seem to be doing a good job of goading them forward, so I'm still trying to figure out how we get it in there. We see this is clear, so this guy should be able to fortify for the time being. Pardon me. Alright, heal. These two were the ones that were watching Truro, so we had them come this way to deal with the barb camp and then come get altitude training. And doing this also means they're more towards the front lines, so that should increase our ability. This guy already has the altitude training, so we'll start coming down here for eyes around here. We don't want a surprise developing around Truro. I'm not so sure we need to bother with this hex any longer, simply because Quebec City does have units they're dancing around. They'll be able to see it, and if we start seeing their units get chipped away, then we'll know maybe we should head down there and help out. Okay, settler. Well, it's only an archer, so the chances that they're going to weaken the camp but not complete it to such a degree that we could swoop in and take it, not very likely. And intercepting a worker way up here probably wouldn't be very useful. But at least we can keep an eye on the situation. As for this scout, he's kind of trapped. It looks like the end of the line. There might be a little something here. There could be something down here. But we would have to trespass a bunch to find out. And you can see by the map that we're probably in the center, and there's all this east we have not yet to scout. So I'd rather have the scout over here, even if there is a little something back there. And with this mountain range and this camp here, we might get stuck. So trying to escape with this guy, and if we find out we are stuck, there's some kind of bottleneck here, we can double back and do that. So that's where we're at in the world. Let's keep this party train rolling, see what comes up. Alright, ironworking is here. 1, 2, 3. Okay. If I come here and there's another barbarian here, we're toast. Which is actually okay, because if this scout did find out that this is the end of the line and was stuck back here, we had to wait till civil service to get out. It'd be better to delete him, save the maintenance fee, and then build another one later, because it's already over here. So I'm willing to risk coming here. The other reason I was willing to risk coming here is because we do not have raging barbarians on, so the fact that there were 2 out of the camp means that's probably all there is, but it doesn't look like there's anybody around to even deal with this camp. So perhaps that was a wrong assessment, but nevertheless, it looks like we'll probably be getting out safely. Alright, with ironworking finished, we are definitely going to go trapping next, and let's take a look at our warrior situation. I know we have a couple over here that are not in borders, which is unfortunate. We had 2 cities building them, this one and that one. Looks like this one has popped out. At the time we were planning on warrior and Pictish warrior, and that was supposed to time up with the finishing of trapping so we could build a circus, but I'm guessing a forest got chopped down or something like that, and the timings were misrepresented. One or the other would have been quick, while the other one would have been full price. Still think let's go Pictish warrior, keep our military somewhat balanced. Now as far as upgrading this guy, I see our workers are done with the road here. So let's finish that up and see what this looks like. Yeah, he could go 4 right here. Yeah, let's definitely do that, because then next turn he can step, upgrade here, and then being next to the city tile, he's got options as far as where to disperse. Or maybe come down here so we don't get jumped in the backfield. I don't know. Speaking of which, we'll bring this guy up here. That brings eyes around here, so we know this guy can continue doing something like this. Again, we don't need to come down here. I mean, like right here, this would get chipped away if there was anything down there. Have this guy heal up. This guy heal up. He's heading to the cocoa. He's heading to settle over here, and we can see it's safe to do so. As for this worker, he could either start a road right where he stands, and then this guy come over and finish that road. Or, being that this is flat land, you know, anything that spawns here, 1, 2, 3, 4, is going to end up right here. For there to be a road stem here only and here would make no difference. They would still end up either here or here, unless they were going through the city tile. Um, and since most of our action is going to be coming in this direction once the war is over, I think it might be worthwhile to bring this guy over here, because let's count this off. 1, 2, settle on 3. 1, 2, start on 3. So that's perfect. And then, of course, you can go on to the citrus or the wheat or whatever, help, roads. Okay, so let's see. As far as going over here, let's take a peek. Ooh. He has exposed himself. And there's a tile here that we could put a melee to prevent this from happening. So let me take a second step over here, just get a little visibility here, because if I was going to step here to shoot this and there's, some kind of counterattack coming, that would be bad. But it looks like he is vulnerable, so let's take shots on him. And what this means is either he'll retreat, in which case the shots were free, or he'll sit tight and then he's just annihilated, which is really good for us. Alright, so we need to move a melee here. And I think, seeing that this is clear, and we have another melee that's over here, could swoop in if need be. I think having this guy come over, because that way if there's more action over here, because his military score is better than ours, right? Let's double check that. We got Germany and the Celts. Yeah, see, his military score is better, but look at what we can see versus not. So his forces are over here, over here, or over here. But let's say, for example, they are over here. Then this guy could step here and act as like a D-flank. Help represent that kind of thing. And this is good because we're going to get more visibility. And sure enough, there we go. So he'll come over to support. Now this guy's very vulnerable. 1, 2, 3. He's weak. Well, we could step back and be totally secured. We could also bring this guy up for a D-flank, but since he's got to get out of this guy's way next turn, let's just heal up the one more turn and then swoop in maybe. We don't want to just dangle a damaged warrior. Let's heal him up so he's not quite as damaged and see what's going to happen here. Alright, this was the worker that was going to Dublin. Oh, okay, the camp's already been solved, so... This is nice. I see 2 different hills we can jump to next turn. Let's see what happens here. Oh, okay, so they go for the other Pictish. That's nice. Ooh, free settler. Obviously, we're not going to go for it. We would get totally annihilated. A worker this far away from our lands would take forever to get back. And, of course, we have a direct declaration of friendship with them, so war would be for naught. Oh, look at that. I chose the correct hill. We see coast here, and if we had chosen this hill, there would have been no benefit to the extra movement, whereas this way we get to keep going. Alright, city connection established. That's going to be the one to Cardiff. And we grew in Edinburgh. So we would like to work that cotton. Let's put this cotton citizen over here. They were going to grow on 1. They're still only going to grow on 1, so losing that 1 food doesn't actually slow it down. And this way we get 1 more food dumping into the capital, help it grow a little bit quicker. Alright. So yeah, war. Alright, let's step here and upgrade. Always. We'll bring him over here always. He's always coming here. He's always coming here. He's always coming here. He's always healing. We'll have this guy step back. Here. Alright, so let's take a look at this. I think he's always going to fortify, right? Okay, it doesn't look like 1 composite bowman shot is going to kill. So if we shoot here, heal here, and have him finish it, he would be damaged, but he would be in ground. Keep in mind, Pictish do not... let me see if I can bring it up here. No movement cost to pillage. There we go. So he ends up here, slightly damaged. Probably gets bombarded, right? And he could pillage, step, and then next turn pillage, step. Oh, that's not developed. Okay. Still, we would like work our way back or something. We could name him Pac Man. Let's just do that now, because he's going to be gobbling up. And to make sure that this is a worthwhile plan, I'm going to step him forward before shooting. Keep in mind, he'll be damaged if we go through with this plan. So the fact that I'm stepping this within bombard range, not a big deal. Okay, so there's a swordsman we weren't counting on, so it'd be bombard and swordsman, and that should be fine. So let's go ahead and take that shot, finish him off. All right. Alright, so I have to heal him. Stepping here and shooting is not an option because he would be weaker than this, so that would be the favor of the bombard, unless, because this melee can reach him and not him, they would favor the bombard there. That's entirely possible, but do keep in mind stepping here and shooting here means we're vulnerable to that thing hitting, which then gives it equal footing for the bombard. Probably favor this one. Hopefully the explanation makes sense. Alright, let's get to chopping, because I'm starting to notice too that for this to be flat land, you know, if they manage to push into this tile, because we're going to have to seed that tile, you know, probably after the next round of attacks. But if this forest is gone, we'll be able to shoot to that hex. So that's really good. And of course, if we do have to seed that tile, this guy could step and shoot over the lake. So we got some representation. And the fact that the Pictish is kind of taken off and doing like the whole yellow car in RC program, he could come in the back and act as a blocker. We got units coming up from down here. I'm feeling pretty good about where we are for now. He's not putting forth that great of a showing. The swordsmen are kind of spooky, but, you know, they're not really working together all that well. Alright, so 2 turns until trapping is finished. That's not enough time to, like, say, cross the river, do a pre-build, cross the river, and then get started. So we're not going to bother with pre-build. We're just going to sleep on the deer tile for a turn. He's going to do a road stem here and then probably finish in the road to Nantes. We'll get started on. Now see here, I probably could pre-build and then jump here and then do the camp. Because until we get to civil service, this city's not really going to grow too much more. Now let's favor the food, because once the circuses are up, we're probably going to have a little gap in the build queues. We're going to try and get into currency and then workshops, but it's not going to take our cities that long to build stuff. Okay, so we did get slammed pretty good, 1-2, and we are clean and clear. It looks like Carthage is going to represent. So probably what we'll do is we'll probably just snuggle up against their border and choose that as our time for healing. So let's see what happens here. Okay. Okay.
Even brute beasts and wandering birds do not fall into the same.
Alright, whoa, that's a turn sooner. I thought it said 2 turns last turn, and now it's just done. So that's good. We won't have to sleep in the deer tile. Dublin grows. Let's just work the other river tile. 21 turns to grow, so now the city is creeping to a crawl. Antwerp under attack. Losing grasp on Quebec City. So that is incense, so our happiness will go down by 4. We got to keep that in mind. Pictish warrior gets an upgrade. And this Pictish warrior gets an upgrade. Alright. Okay, he's always going to move here. He's always going to move here. We might as well fortify here. I think even with the upgrade, we absolutely have to back up. And that's fine, because like I said, next turn this will get chopped down and we'll have clearance to actually shoot. So if one of them pushes forward, we got that option. Similarly, I think I'm going to move this guy here. That way not only can he shoot over the lake, but if need be, we can step up onto the hill and shoot. So like maybe if they don't take this tile, we push that guy forward or over here or something. I see the spearmen coming up. Keep in mind we're about to drop a city here next turn, which means we'll have another bombard nearby. It's currently out of range, but maybe we can work that to our advantage. And then, of course, this guy, 62 health. We say heal, he'll be up to 72 next turn. We step into the city tile, upgrade, heal 1 turn. Now he's at, like, practically 100. So I like the idea of him pillage, step, but with this archer here. Well, this is flatland, so our composite bowman could shoot there, and they're still going to be favoring this guy in theory. And if not, he can just, like, withdraw. So, yeah. Pillage, step, pillage, step. He is damaged. Now we'll get onto that. So, yeah, next turn, you know, maybe shoot that again. Pillage, attack, get some faith. Next turn, pillage, cross the river, gobble, gobble. It would be nice if that swordsman stepped out. Alright, melee is coming through. So I don't want to expose him and shoot, because bombard and he gets hit. We don't have a melee there to represent just now, and since this is getting chopped, we want to kind of keep this option. So I'll heal him up one more turn, even though there's not really much benefit in doing so. Let's head into currency next. Get markets up. We're going wide. It's very important. Circus after the library. I'm glad to see the libraries are finally coming up. And you can get started on the deer right now. And then he'll hop over the river and do river farms. Okay. So, just to make sure nothing comes up from behind, we'll just take a step here and we'll dance like so. And turn over. Let's find out what happens here. Hey, hey, look at that. The swordsman stepped out. That's exactly what we wanted to see. I heard a lot of popping there. Nantes grows to 3. Alright, more food, more production. Got a promotion there. Very good. And we got a promotion there. Construction here. Shrine. I know it says that we'll have library up by 4 pop, and keep in mind, I don't mean to suggest you should follow that religiously, but I do think this city, a granary, is worthwhile. There's a lot of non-2 food tiles nearby, so it's not like overgrowth is going to sink us into the ground as far as unhappiness. Alright, that was the first composite bowman. Oh, whoops, I'm jumping ahead. Circus. So yeah, second composite bowman there. This guy finishes, so we'll say 1, 2, 3, upgrade. Make the most of your movement points, always. Always, always, always. So we could have this guy come up here for the visibility. But with the war expanding, I do think we have more opportunities for ranged nearby. And looks like this road stem will be finished next turn, so we'll have options as far as proceeding. Alright, chop, chop. Now look at this. The Pictish becomes more vulnerable, which is worth noting. We'll have him... Alright, let's drop this city. Production focus, work Kilimanjaro, monument. I am having second thoughts about buying the citrus. Right now we only have enough money to upgrade our warriors, and I think that's more important. Also, for this tile for Munich, it's third ring. Cologne is actually falling, so that's a good thing for us. Because if we had the manpower to send over here and like swoop in and take that from Denmark, then I don't think he would give us a city in the peace deal. But if we just kick his butt over here, he might actually give us Munich. We burn it to the ground. It'll never get here. But even if that's not the case, this is his third ring and it's wooded. And he's got all these plains tiles. So I don't think we're going to lose the race here. We can see it's only going to be our second growth, but the first tile growth happens in 5 turns somehow. Oh, because Kilimanjaro. Oh, okay, and that's another reason not to do it. The Kilimanjaro actually accelerates our border growth at first. Very nice. So we're going to do that because we can. He is always going to say pillage step. He's always coming here, right? Here. Here. Okay, so there is no always. I'm just trying to think, because if we tag team these 2 composite bowmans on this and he comes forward, like he'll be a goner. We have tiles over here we can pillage, we can have the melee, whoever gets damaged, that kind of thing. But we also have these 2 could gang up on this guy, and that means him just staying fortified up would be okay. Or we could have him back up for safe healing, have him come here. We have to protect this tile. Not just because of the cocoa, but it's a strategic advantage at the moment. Being able to like shoot over anything that occupies here is dangerous. I'm not going to press him forward just to take that kill, but if we backed him up, he could upgrade, he could step and take that, and then tank what's here. They would probably double team him. So it's a matter of seizing the definite swordsman now. Kind of want to leave him here, backing up, because we can ensure a safe retreat as is. So yeah, let's do this. See where that takes us. 33, that hits pretty hard actually. Okay, and if he shot there, alright. So I don't think he's going to expose himself. So I'll come here to aid in the D flank so that he can fortify here. And I'll go ahead and say shot, fortify. Alright. Not sure that's the best option we have, but it's in the books now. Alright. If he's still our best candidate, so that's where we're going to go. Douglas to Copenhagen. There's a lot of war over there. Yeah, let's just keep it like this. Antwerp does want it, but they're way down here. Maybe once we settle down here, you know, because engineering's coming up, we'll have another caravan, and that'll be the one we send over there to get their favor. But for now, here's where we're at. Alright, so 1, 2, 3. City-state, but we don't actually meet them. Get started on the horses. I see this worker's finishing up the sheep tile, so we can do this. 7 and 5, 5 and 6. Obviously that's better. And now he can come over and get started on this deer, chop down wood, make river farms. Alright, so yeah, Edinburgh was a little neglected. Alright, so this is an awkward border formation. I'm thinking this almost has to be the city tile. So if we go 1, 2, 3, we get eyes on the city tile rather than healing up here. Maybe. Is there reason enough for this guy to come over here and just abandon his post in Truro? I don't think so. With the exception of this guy here, we're doing pretty well. He could get triple team, but that would be suicide on his part if he bothered. So yeah, let's just keep doing this little dance. Oh, looks like here was a waste. Oh, but only because the worker's there. Alright, never mind. Alright, so we'll send our focus here. And look at Pac Man go. Gobble, gobble. Alright, that swordsman is toast. And I see a worker we can have. Cool. Alright. So, we'll definitely do this, because that's always going to happen. He will heal up. Gobble, gobble. And we'll come here, because then we'll probably get favored again. Will we? 75, 70. No, we will not. Okay, so just to make sure this guy is the one that keeps getting favored, I'm going to back him up, even though that means not killing this. Well, we could probably still kill that with this guy. For sure. Alright, definitely. Let's just get this guy out of there then. Absolutely. Because we want them double tamming him, because this is kind of a losing battle until now. Because now he can pillage, step, and then next turn pillage, step, pillage. And this guy's going to get hit by this bombard at the very least, which means we could step back, pillage here, or step forward, pillage here. We'll go here for visibility. Ooh, look at that. Reason to give chase. Very nice. So it might be worthwhile to bring this guy out to come help quicker. I don't know. Anyways, we're going to back this guy up. And we'll step this guy up and shoot. It's not enough to kill, but we didn't think that it would be. I'm going to bring this Pictish out here, because he can start doing the gobble-gobble here. Let's just wrap this up. once we plunder... Okay, we're about to get a great general. We're going to have all their lands plundered. We got a worker. We've done so much damage, he'll probably cede Munich. That's basically all we could ask for, right? Oh, and you know what? I didn't even notice. The no longer ally of Quebec City brings us into unhappiness. So all this fighting this turn happened in unhappiness. But the one shot to the swordsman was a bit of a high roll, so I am not going to complain. Meanwhile, this guy finishes the road stem, which gives this guy more options. So it looks like the war's more or less over. We're just going to play Pac Man on the land for a couple turns. We got plenty of archer representation over there from what we can see. He's about to be fully healed. We can represent from here. So I think bringing him down here, get some visibility here, get more units with... Because after the war is over, we're basically going to have to try and make sure all our units have altitude training and then redistribute them so that like all the darkness we can see is covered. He can occupy there, but he's not coming out for a while. So this swordsman in the back here, probably just have him step up here, hold this land. Because of all the dark spots that we are neglecting, this is by far the most crucial. It's in the heart of our lands. We have a lot of developed tiles here. And some workers and stuff. Okay, so he's keeping eyes over there. We'll just go step, step, get a little more visibility. Oh yeah, and then we're making the push to make that other settle. Alright, so we see that there. Mountain range, hills. This is a great place to heal up. We'll have options if we get antagonized. I do see there's a camp over there. 1, 2, 3. We finally meet the great Lhasa Apso. Alright. Get started on that cocoa. The happiness cannot come fast enough. Alright, so he's limping. Nice. Absolutely not. I don't know what we would get from that, but I am in the mood for upsetting him, if at all possible. Coco comes back. Alright. Enhance. And now we can upgrade this guy, which means we can stop with the whole notices that people want to buy our iron. We're going to... Well, we're always going to say pillage, step, pillage, step. That is so much fun. And he is at 79, so we do want to... Let's bring this guy back here. He can see all the darkness tiles. I should have stepped once and again, just in case. But we can see all the tiles that would have been dark. Everything else is by city borders. So this would be a great place for him to just heal up. He doesn't have altitude training, but we'll rectify that later. For now... We're just trying to, let's see, so he can cross here. So this guy, step, pillage. Oh, he's not going to be able to pillage twice this turn. That's okay. So maybe they favor this guy. 72, 79, yeah, probably. So he'll, like, pillage, step, pillage, he'll pillage, cross the river, we'll make peace, or something like that, I don't know. Yeah. Might be worth moving him down here. Because I'm thinking of stepping this guy up, shooting here, so that this guy kills in this direction. And that way we can also pillage this one over the river. We're basically lining up to finish the war next turn. So, yeah, if I do this, and then this, and that spawns a great general. A little, too little, too late, but whatever, we'll take it. Let's finish that city connection to Nantes. So yeah, having him move here, because he's gonna... Oh, you know what? I think I just... Yep. Well, no, because double shots and then him attacking across the river is not going to be enough, but almost was. For this reason, I'll leave this worker chilling here as, like, bait. I don't think he's going to go for it, but... Because once the war is over, he can move here. If we get Munich, I mean, we can move here, and he can get started on the citrus. Even though we got the great general, we might as well take our free shots, because you never know. He might need to step here and shoot next turn. Alright. So we actually have a choice, right? Like, we could just end the war here if he's going to give us Munich to make sure this guy doesn't die. don't think he's going to die, though. He's a swordsman. 14. This is on flat land, so the bombard's not going to be that strong. And like I said, I don't think he's going to attack across the river. And if he did, he would die, and I don't think we would. But at the same time, it's a swordsman. That's not really worth risking. But I am pretty confident he would have to high roll on all of the above. And I think that favors us as far as chances go. Alright, so he's going to go 1 for the visibility, 2 because he can still get the altitude training next turn. Here probably, so that we don't interrupt that guy's healing. And here we'll just step back, get some eyes. Yeah, something like that. Okay, and I'm going to end it on the cliffhanger here. Will this die or won't it? Should I go ahead and make peace now or shouldn't I? That seems like exciting times. Either way, this has been a very successful war. We're totally shredding his lands. Got the worker. Probably going to get this city. In fact, just to add to the cliffhanger. Yeah, there we go. Verification. He would give us the city. So let me know what you guys think I should do here. Thank you so much for joining me. Please leave a like and subscribe if you feel that I've earned it. And I will see you guys in the next part. Take care.